This is a game about places over time. Think about places that have been important to you. Your childhood fort under the rosebush, your first apartment, the one with the view, the town where your grandmother spent her last few years. Or think about places that have been or will be important to others, a city-state in revolt, an ant colony, a generation ship 400 centuries into its voyage towards another star. Although there may be times during the game when we are compelled to widen or narrow our focus, this is not possible for us. The story we're building is about this place, this field, this star, this city, this tree, this crossroads. No matter how we feel about our characters, if they leave our frame, we may not follow. Our camera is anchored to our place, and we may not pivot or stray. Remember that places have memory, that what has happened here is always, in some small or big way, written into the walls, the stones, or the future of the people who continue to live here. Fundamentally, this is a game about the echoes and traces we leave for others after we are gone. This is The Ground itself, which is an indie RPG made by Everett Kipken. And last time we were here, it was so long ago, it was like a month.
It was a solid month, I think, yeah.
We rolled
a simulation.
We rolled simulation
and card-based.
Which has led us to The Ground itself, which is this wonderful RPG. It is $10 for the physical copy and $3 for shipping. And you can get a your own printable version for $5 on DriveThruRPG. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how the game is played. So it requires 2 to 5 players. In this case, obviously, there's us. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. This is Dev. I'm Nadia.
Dev.
And we will be the players for today. So let's go ahead and show you what we're working with. So
you get dice?
We have 1 6-sided die, which we will be using to determine timeline, which is really great. And then you have a deck of cards. This is
numbers
going to be separated into 2 piles. This is face cards, and then this is numbers.
Yep.
You remove the jokers, because this is a society. You shuffle them, you place them down. An important part is also a coin. In this case, we are using this hive piece. This coin is basically the X card for this game. So if someone feels particularly uncomfortable, they can just flip it upside down and everyone can take a break. Obviously, we won't be delving into that in this stream because we're not going to be going that
We're going to keep it smooth.
You can play online and at a distance, but
it's got different rules for that, I think.
Yeah, it does. So what will happen is we will be reading aloud in turns, passing this book back and forth as we play, so that we can determine
timeline,
etc., and answer questions about our place. And then there is a hard time limit for
for today.
For this for this session, we are going to have a hard limit to 8 o'clock. So we aren't going to be playing for 4 hours like we did last time.
That was a fun game, though.
It was a fun game, though. But so basically, this is a collaborative storytelling game about a specific place, and we will be using cards to determine the place,
people,
qualities, questions about it,
The gaps between our storyline.
Yeah. If you've played or seen Thousand Year Vampire in the shop, it's a little bit like that, except it's got a little bit of exchange and discussion with the other people that you're playing with.
Multiplayer 1,000 Year area.
Place.
Yeah.
Place and thing.
1,000 Year City.
So, the setting for our game should be decided collaboratively around the table. So, what are we thinking for this place?
I think we went kind of a high concept last time. I kind of want to do something.
I want a farm.
Okay,
I want like a little homestead. Like a little homestead on the prairie.
With like a little family?
Yes.
Like a Stardew Valley situation?
Okay. Leave me alone about Stardew Valley. Hello! And I mean, we're not that fancy. We did go very high concept with our last game. It went into some places. Underwater. So this time we are going to keep it simple. Stupid.
Okay. It's gonna be a farm.
It's gonna be a farm.
Stardew Valley situation where it's like next to a city, or is it like?
I mean, to begin with, probably not. I want to say somewhere in
some.
Well, there's not really
space.
such thing as like virgin land or anything, but we could say it's like a Minecraft thing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The past of this place may or may not matter, but what we have right now is that it's a farm, kind of by itself, and there's maybe a small family living there.
I mean,
is that good for the family?
Sure.
Is that good for the setting to start?
I think so.
Okay.
I think all right. All right, and now we will determine our timeline. This game is played in 4 cycles, and each cycle is separated by a gap in time. One player will roll the 6-sided dice and record the result. This die will determine the unit of time that this gap is measured in.
Gimme.
And this metric stays for the remainder of the game.
Yes.
So if we roll 1, we're going to skip forward days. If we roll 2, it's weeks, 3 years, 4 decades, 5 centuries, and 6 millennia, which, frankly, I don't think we can comprehend. So if we roll 6, this farm's going to go some places.
This farm's going to go weird.
So let's go ahead and activate.
We got decades the first time you played it, right?
I think we did, yeah.
That's a 5?
Centuries. Ooh, okay.
I think it'll work.
Do you?
Centuries between play cycles. It's played in 4 sets of game, basically.
Yeah. All right. So we can re-roll if the timeline's antagonistic. But I think we can work it.
Centuries is really interesting.
I think we can get it to work. So we'll begin playing in the period of time we have established, which is this farm in
sort
wherever.
Rustic. Yeah.
And we will not move around in time until the first gap. So, establishing our place. So this is before the first gap. We are going to deal each player cards from the face card stack in a circle. There is no circle until no cards are left. Then going in the same circle, each player sets down 1 card at a time and answers the question associated with that card between their cards at random. Keep going until the world feels established or until we're out of cards. So,
you want to do
I feel like we probably don't have the time.
Let's do like 2 each.
So I would say 2 or 3 each.
Okay,
so
we'll see where we are at 2.
So would you like to go first?
Yeah, let me shuffle up. All right. Queen of, what was that, diamonds?
Diamonds.
Queen of diamonds. The Queen of diamonds. The question is, what is valued in this place? What is it known to have in excess?
Okay.
Okay, so it's a farm.
It's a farm.
I think.
See, you think that the major exports would be crops or animals.
Yes. because it's a farm. But maybe there's
What if what they are known for is just
kindness.
just like really wonderful hospitality.
Yeah, it has
Just
hospitality,
friendship, and
in excess, and hospitality is valued. Yes, it's a farm, but it's not just a farm. It's a home.
for like anyone who comes there.
Yeah,
It's just an extremely friendly, wonderful. You said Stardew Valley, and it
And now
really
you-
affected
it
this, I
gave you
feel
the brain
like.
rot.
So
Your
now I
turn.
have Stardew Valley brain rot.
Hit one.
All right. So I will go ahead
Blast it.
and got the King of Hearts. So, what stories are told in or about this place? Does it have legends or myths? Does it have religion?
What's the religion of your little farmstead in the middle of nowhere?
I mean, I don't know.
You have to answer the question. What kind
I
of stories?
answered your question.
You did answer my question. So I answer this one. What kind of story? I think stories about travelers who have passed through, who have shared their stories.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
That makes
maybe sort of
sense.
a nexus for like.
But also like the
comes-
dangers of what's outside.
Oh, there's dangers outside for
of
sure.
the farm.
Oh yeah, there's travelers, there's adventurers passing through. They share their stories. They tell of beasts, and they tell
They
of,
tell of beasts,
yes,
beefts.
and they tell of faraway lands. I think that covers it. Yeah.
Okay. And we're just not gonna talk about religion.
Listen, that's their business.
That is their business.
King of Hearts.
Nope.
Nope. That's not what that is.
King of
That's
Spades.
Spade. I don't know. Cards.
No, you don't know card suits.
Spades.
It's cute.
King of Spades. If there are multiple people who live there, what are they divided on? What are the points of contention that are fought over? I like this. You answer it. I
Oh
like
man.
Yeah, I like making you
points
answer
of
these.
contention. I feel like it's probably something dumb. Like, so okay, if this is a family, let's say like there's children, right? And children get in fights about dumb stuff.
Oh yeah. What the beefs look like.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Who's friendliest?
Who's friendliest? Who, whether or not the travelers who tell these stories are even telling the truth.
Oh.
They've never
Whether
seen
it would be better to leave the farm or not.
Ooh, I like that.
Some
Yeah.
some of them are getting like older and wondering, hey, maybe there's
Stuff.
more to this than just
this
this homestead.
Milking these monster cows or whatever. Here we go.
I'm really thinking about those that like little short from Love, Death and Robots where it's like the space farmers.
Yeah, and they've got like mechs.
Mhm.
That's a real. I would play that game.
I know. That would be a fun game of
I would-
Lancer.
Oh,
All right. And then this is the last one.
I think so.
All right. We got Jack of Hearts.
A lot of hearts.
Who lives here? What is an average person like in this place? What do they look like? What do they wear?
That's for me.
I mean, both of us, but I think we already established it's like a family.
Yeah, I assume they're roughly humanoid.
We're just sticking with humanoid.
Yeah, I mean they don't have to be humans. This doesn't have to be Earth. They can be elves. They can't be gnomes, but they might be elves.
I don't know. An elven homestead seems weird.
That is weird.
But I like it.
Let's go with that.
So I'm gonna say it's an elf
It's
homestead
an elf homestead. They're farmers
with weird cows.
with weird cows. They cannot have normal cows. They're like blue or something.
They have like fairy cows.
Yeah, they're fairy cows for sure.
Oh my god. That's where the blue milk for Luke Skywalker comes
I
from.
think those come out of like a little penguin dude. I never saw that.
That's upsetting. What you have said has upset me.
I'm sorry.
All right. So, we have established our little homestead. So let's go ahead and put this card pile aside. So, during our 4 cycles of gameplay, players draw cards from the numerical pile. Each type of card is associated with a set of questions, which are answered in any order. Which are answered in order.
In order, yeah.
For example, the first time the player draws an ace, they would answer the first question listed under the aces. So there's 4 questions for each suit.
Yeah. And you draw until you hit a 10.
Yes, and if you hit a 10,
you answer that question, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And then also, you may discard the card before addressing the situation and enter a focused situation, choosing to tell a story, throw a party, discover something, see an omen, leave the frame, or move on, skipping this turn. So these focus situations allow us to skip certain questions instead of spending more time on a single moment. Choosing to enter a focus situation still counts as the nth instance of the card. You may enter the same focus situation multiple times. The specific rules of these situations are detailed later. So when you draw 10, time advances. For us, it would be
100 years, straight up.
100 years. But what we do then is we roll this 6-sided die, and it will advance by the number of 100 years, either forward or backwards. So if I roll a 3, we can either go 300 years or 300 years back.
That is a massive time skip.
They're elves.
I think the biggest... Oh, they're elves. You solved it.
Snuck that in there.
You got me. I think the biggest time skip we did in our first game was 40 years.
Yeah. We got decades for our first game. Oh, yeah. And a lot happened in those.
I mean, yeah, it was very condensed decades.
Yeah. So basically, when you hit time advances, it's a very good chance to take a break, go get a drink, feed your cat, anything like that, and reconvene and answer, do the characters or civilization still live here? If not, who lives here now? Does anyone? What's it physically look like now? And does the place still have the same name? And then after that, you resume normal gameplay. So, for ending the game, when the 4th 10 card is drawn, the game is over, no matter the number of cards left in the pile or the stories that have been in motion. Our window has fogged, and the clarity of vision we had into our place is lost to us. It may feel sudden, but in truth there is never a clean exit. Places go on forever, building narrative by their mere existence. However, just because we cannot know for certain what takes place after the window of our game does not mean that we cannot make some conjectures. After all, this is a game about long traces over time. By watching our place with such attention, maybe we have learned to predict what could come to pass. As a group, without cards, decide on the following. What happens tomorrow? Who wakes up? What do they see? And what is the feeling they get from the world? So, focus situations. There's specific actions you can take instead of discussing the thing that your card describes. Before you read the meaning of that card, you have to discard it.
So if you, I feel like maybe
we'll just say this is the discard pile.
Yeah, we'll say we'll maybe do one somewhere in there, peppered in.
Yeah. So you can tell a story. The player adopts or invents a storytelling character in game. Briefly describe them, their name, what they sound like. This may be an old bard, an entertainer on TV, a parent with a bedtime book, or something more abstract like a bird cawing at the morning. Other players may enter the scene as listeners who may choose to interrupt or ask questions, roleplay or narrate, telling the story. The story that is told is known as a fiction or legend, not an actual course of in-game events. However, the stories we tell about our world are as important as the things that happen in it. And then you can also throw a party. The player describes the situation of the party: a birthday, a ball, a festival in the street, the spring, when character or thing that attend. When the flowers all bloom, and every player picks or invents a character or thing that attends. Roleplay or narrate these as these characters, chatting idly, dancing, having cake, or merely existing in splendor. Topics of the larger story or situation may come up in these conversations, but do not act on the big things in any tangible way at the party. They're just a topic of gossip for a very good day. You want to read the rest?
I was going to say we can just get to it when we get to it.
Oh.
Discover something. A chance
You can just list the...
Yeah. I'm going to do discover something, a chance to name a fact that enters the world whole cloth, see an omen, gesture at a future possibility, a comet, a spell gone awry, leave the frame. Just for a second, the window widens and we are able to see a little bit more of our world. You get one question and the table collectively answers, then the world snaps right back. And then move on, the player skips this turn, merely discarding the card and letting the action rest elsewhere. All right, and we are on to card meanings. Let's get going.
All right, so...
Who's going first?
Ooh, I don't really want to go first. I feel like I went last, so...
Okay, so I draw, you answer, or I draw and answer?
You draw and answer.
All right. 7 of spades?
Spades. Yep. So, what is the most beautiful thing in or about our place?
I think the most beautiful thing about our place currently is the hospitality and the stories shared with travelers, the meals shared with family. The beauty is the people.
That's disgustingly sweet.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to contradict that, so that seems good. Like, so
Yeah.
They're not near anything, but they're well known for just being really nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
It's just a farm.
Yeah.
It's a farm in the middle of nowhere, probably between places. Hit it.
Yeah. So I got a 10!
You
A
got
10
the
of
first
spades,
10.
so...
All right, the first 10.
So immediately, we
We
will be leaving this for 100 years at
Minimum.
least. I may pick freely between these following questions.
Pick your favorite.
Ooh.
That's amazing.
Someone important, socially, political, or emotionally in our place dies. Who were they? How were they killed? How are they remembered after? So we're gonna need to set up a death.
A death.
A death. So I'm gonna say one of my favorite fantasy tropes is magic tuberculosis, where one of the people just starts spitting out blood like mysteriously. Like tuberculosis really went off. People started like coughing blood into their handkerchief, and the entire human consciousness was like, let's keep that.
We're gonna
forever.
use that for fiction. That's how we identify that a character's sick. That's how we death mark them.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the elves starts coughing up magic blood.
How
How about the father?
about a kid?
You can't.
I can't.
I don't think you can do that.
No.
No.
Okay. But the father's fine.
I think the father's fine. I think we can't kill children.
We can't kill. Okay. We can't kill children.
Not on a work stream.
Okay, so I'm going to say, I guess the father of this homestead gets magical tuberculosis and passes away, and it has just this rippling effect across his family. His children, for the most part, scatter and
they
leave, but one stays
Oh no.
with their parent
The remaining
and takes the homestead over.
Oh. Vicious.
Is it vicious?
Yeah. So
All right, so now we have answered that question, and we'll roll the die and move in time, then collectively decide those 3 questions. So let's go ahead.
I can't believe you. Wowzers. Come on.
6.
That's a 6?
That's a 6. So we are moving
600
years. Forwards or backwards.
Oh,
But they are elves.
I want to say forward. I know the option to go back exists. I don't like it.
But what if I wanted to go backwards and describe the husband and wife courting?
No. Absolutely not.
Why?
Veto. That's too sad.
Well, you have to turn the coin over.
I didn't want to have to veto stuff.
Right.
I didn't think you'd go so wildly sad.
Okay.
So
Forward. So the kid. Okay.
We've been with this poor family 10 minutes and we've killed the father.
Okay.
And then abandoned them to the ravages of
Literally,
time.
the question said that.
You chose the question.
Okay. Do our characters' civilization still live here? Yes.
I think civilization has changed unrecognizably in 600 years, but I'm sure there's still people there.
600 years. There's still. I'm gonna say that child is still there, just like probably pretty venerable.
He's an old elf now.
He's an old elf now.
The mother's gone though.
Mother's definitely gone.
Maybe
Mother
the
didn't
child
last that long at all after the magic tuberculosis.
Died of a broken heart.
Like 100 years later, or 50.
10.
10.
Yeah. Died of a broken heart. So maybe does this elf homesteader have his own children now, or is it just him by himself still trying to keep the family's memory and legacy alive? Oh, that one?
No, let's say he has a few kids.
He's got a couple kids.
Like, I'm gonna say 2 kids, and then like one of his siblings came back
That's nice.
after like their travels and came back to like help out the home after many years of
He
adventures.
comes back and's like, "Hey, listen.
There's
there were
dragons?
Beasts. There were beasts. I know I said back then that there was no such thing as beefs. There was beefs.
There was beefs. All right. So what does it look like now? Has it visually changed? How does it smell now? How does it feel here?
I think it still smells like a farm.
It probably still smells like a farm.
I think in 600 years there's been some magical advances. I don't want to say technological, because
magical advances sounds right. I'm gonna say there's probably more varieties of magic cow than the blue one.
The blue ones. Now there's red ones. There's green ones.
I'm gonna say also maybe they started getting crops.
They got
magical crops.
Yeah, they grow crops and they taste like
and they probably like. I'm gonna say like they probably have neighbors now who come like by.
People are building in the area.
So
there's a family across the valley.
Yeah, but we can't see that.
We can't see that, but they exist.
They exist and will wander by. But so they have a lot more visitors.
They have more visitors, I think.
But a lot less ability to be like.
There's less people manning that
hospitality.
There's less people manning them griddles.
Does the place still use the same name? We didn't name it.
Let's name it the Abernathy Farm.
We didn't name it.
We're gonna name it the Abernathy Farm.
Okay, we're gonna name it the Abernathy Farm. What? Oh no.
What?
It didn't have a name before, but now it does. So clearly the father's name was Abernathy.
That's completely brutal. Yeah, okay.
Alright, so clearly,
Abernathy, they used to call him Abe. But he's very dead now.
Oh no, that's awful.
Yeah, you killed him.
I did kill him with magic tuberculosis.
You gave him tuberculosis.
Alright, so we are going 600 years into the future now. So
Who drew the first card last time? Me?
Well, I drew the last one. You drew the last card.
So
it's your turn.
6 of diamonds.
All right.
How mad would you have been?
If it had been another 10?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty mad.
I think we're going to be here for a while.
All right. What is the most horrible thing in or about about our place. You just want these elves to be happy, and this book's like, no.
No, absolutely not.
Shut it down.
We're gonna take these elves and shake them. I think the most horrible thing in this place is that there is a creature, unidentified.
There's a creature.
It's like a chupacabra. Something is eating the cows. It'll just completely drain a cow of blood. Maybe once a year. Once a year, they'll wake up.
That's not great.
Yeah. Once a year, they'll wake up and there'll be a cow completely drained of blood,
just like a raisin.
Yeah, just a raisin.
That's pretty bad.
It's the worst thing.
Does it attack people?
Not yet.
Okay. That's that sounds pretty horrible. That sounds really bad. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. What's the worst thing?
Okay, so
Spicing it.
I feel like I can't really extrapolate on that. I'm just gonna draw another card. So we got the 7 of diamonds.
Have we have another 7?
Yeah, we did get 7 beforehand.
But that's
so this is the second 7 that we have gotten.
This is 7 number 2.
Invent a specific street, building, corner, overlook, or meeting place. What is it called officially, and what do the locals call it? So it's definitely a big old tree that's on the land, right?
Yeah.
Like all gnarled and knotted. And it's got like, I'm gonna say like 5 swings.
Oh wow.
It's a big
That's
tree.
a lot of
It's a
swings.
really big tree. So, what is it called officially? I don't think there's an official name for it because I don't think people officially name trees. But I will say that the locals probably call it the swingin' tree.
The swingin' tree. That's gorgeous.
I think it's a
that's
very
really
lovely tree. I think it's got all of these boughs that have like
Swings.
drapes
Yeah,
around
it's nice
it,
and
so you
shady.
can swing in the shade.
I'm gonna burn that tree down.
Oh my god! All
I
right,
like
yeah, that's the swinging tree,
The swingin' tree. All right, mine.
which is completely unrelated to
the other
any
thing.
other thing. So we got a
I got a
9.
9. First 9.
What do people eat and drink here? What is considered traditional?
Well, they eat the crops, which is, I think,
Scarrots.
carrots. It's like carrots, but something else.
Spooky.
Spooky carrots. They eat spooky carrots. You pick them and they go ooh. But and of course they drink the cow milk,
The cow milk.
which does taste better than normal milk.
And also there is no lactose intolerance in this universe.
Oh, that would be gorgeous.
Yeah.
What a world.
There's magical tuberculosis, but not magical
There's
lactose
magical tuberculosis.
intolerance.
There's a creature that may or may not be a chupacabra, but there is not lactose intolerance.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you.
What's considered traditional though?
Oh, traditional.
What did they bring from their elven homeland?
Scarrot stew.
Carrot stew.
Yeah. You make it with stock and some scarrots.
Okay.
It's very good. It's hearty. I think this isn't going to be like a delicate set of elves because they do run a farm. It's hearty. It's thick. Keeps you fed for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Carrot stew.
Scarrots stew.
All right. Let's see. We got 2.
Every time you take it real slow, I'm like, oh, did she get the 10?
All right. Name a monument, marker, statue, or other physicalized memory that exists in our place. What does it mark? The father, obviously.
Oh yeah, it's his gravestone.
It's his headstone from where they buried him after his magical tuberculosis took
After
him.
you killed him.
No. I do not control the rate at which fathers die. It was the magical tuberculosis.
The magical tuberculosis. Okay.
So basically, obviously this is like, they're not a rich family, so they don't really have like a statue. But they do have like a nice little, it's not like a headstone like we would know it, and
It's an elven grave marker.
yeah, I want to say like a men here.
A menor? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. Covered in moss,
Yeah.
but like on purpose. Like
it's like
artful moss.
600-year-old moss.
Yeah, artful moss.
Artful 600-year-old moss. Go ahead.
Ooh, an ace.
An ace. What are the plants like in our place? The rocks? The soil?
Oh.
So we've obviously already described scarrets.
We've got scarrets, we've got moss. We've got a big tree. I think the trees are all huge.
Yeah.
I think every tree is like California redwood. Just a big tree that you could like live in. They don't live in the trees.
I really like those.
Yeah.
I really like that. They're just huge.
Just huge
They're
trees
just,
all over, just dotting the landscape. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got, man.
Well, what about the rocks?
They're rocks, Nadia. They're rocks. Rocks are the same. Rocks are the same.
They're not the same.
They're gray rocks, but if you break them open, they're silver on the inside. Not like silver, but like gemstone silver.
There we go. Was that so hard?
No.
The soil. It says right here.
Okay, the soil is arable. It's tillable. It's good soil.
I want to say it's
green. Teal?
Teal.
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 We're gonna go with teal. Teal soil.
I like that.
It's good.
All right. 5.
Oh my god. Stop flipping it like they're all 10s.
What are the stars like in our place? The sky, the weather. So the weather is idyllic, actually.
Creepy.
There is almost the perfect amount of rain for crops and the perfect amount of sunshine for raising animals.
That's creepy.
For the stars, though, it's really upsetting. They have eyes, and
The stars have eyes?
and you can see them every night looking at you.
Okay. My turn now. I don't want to engage with that any further than we already have.
2.
That's horrible. Yeah. It's the second two.
What is produced in our place right now, and how does it make its way into the wider world?
Scarrets. Magic cow milk.
Kindness.
Kindness. And I think it makes its way through to the wider world via that kindness.
What about the magical tuberculosis?
Oh, they wiped that out years ago.
Okay.
Okay. They actually wiped it out, what was it, 600 years? They wiped it out 599 years ago.
No!
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. How about that?
Don't do this.
How do you like that?
No, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's what happened. Turns out an herb on that farm cures it. It's one of their exports. We can't play the rest of this game.
Okay.
Fight.
Okay.
Flip your card.
5. So that's our second 5.
5-2.
What secrets are kept in our place? Why are they kept? By whom and from whom?
Ooh. Was that a question for you? Yeah. Yes.
So I don't think our adventuring sibling actually adventured that much.
Oh, where did they go?
I think the adventuring sibling literally like went 2 towns over and just kind of messed up their life and was like, man, I should probably just go home.
Wow.
And
they're just too embarrassed to admit it?
They're just too embarrassed to admit it. It's been 600 years. Why would they spend 600 years away and also keeping it up, like keeping up this facade? Because in 600 years, they must have come around the town that they were in.
Yeah, it's true. They must have messed up real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Messed up real bad. Is this mine?
Yes.
Hold on. I would like to see an omen.
Okay.
Instead, we're going to skip this 8 and we're going to see an omen.
All right. So we're going to do a focus situation. Read an omen.
Read an omen. Here, the player may gesture at a future possibility. An omen may be the classic type, a comet or a spell gone awry, or something that points at the materiality of the world, a hungry animal in from a famine in the countryside, or an heir to the throne that sickens ahead of a coup. This is a chance to set things in motion. The player narrates what is seen, by who, and how it is perceived by those that hear the news. The adventuring brother who didn't adventure, I think one night he's out sitting underneath the stars, trying to
that are looking at him.
And I think he's used to it. I think he's been
I
traveling.
mean, yeah, obviously they'd be used to it this whole time. These stars have had eyes, and that's just one of the things.
Whole time, and they stare at you unblinkingly. But this night, the stars all close their eyes at once, and it gets real dark for a moment. And then they open their eyes again, and it's like it's never happened. But that's never happened before. And I don't think anyone believes him. I don't think anyone in the farm, they listen to him, they hear the story, but it's not something that's ever happened. So they just say, okay, sure. And they're all waiting for someone else to come along from one of the cities who also saw it. And I don't think anyone comes.
Okay. All right, that sounds good.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, we got
I think that's
our
the third
seven.
7 heavy deck.
A forgotten aspect to our place is recovered. What is it? A corner? A basement? A hidden garden? You know, I actually like the idea of a secret basement under this homestead.
Oh, hell yeah. Heck yeah.
So they have been trying to get the basement open for a while, and just one day it sort of not really collapses, but sort of collapses in. So the child that does wander in is like, oh wow, look at this, and it's filled with
ancient elven mead.
Yeah, ancient elven mead from crops that
no longer exist. They don't really grow much anymore.
They don't really grow much of it anymore, but it's like a link to the old practices.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So.
3.
All right.
Is that our first 3?
I think it is. What do people listen to and perform here? What is considered the folk art?
I think you pay for your stay with a story. People perform stories, they listen to stories, they care about what people who are traveling have to say, and I think that's their version of
currency
of art. I think it's just a sort of storytelling based economy.
God, I wish that were me.
Same.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, all you. Let's make an
8.
8.
So that's our second 8. Or wait. Yeah, second. The news is dramatic and tensions are high. What is this news? How is this reaction physicalized in space?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say the news is that there is a traveling army.
Oh. Army.
That is hunting for someone who saw all the eyes in the sky close.
Oh no.
Because they believe them to be evil.
They're a doomsayer.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Obviously the reaction isn't great.
No.
Because all the family knows it's the uncle. It's like their old uncle. So they're like, okay, hold on.
Hold on. That's not good.
That's not great. Obviously, they aren't going to give him over.
No, why would they? It's an evil army that we know of.
So, that's unfortunate.
That's real bad news. All right, ready?
Uh-huh.
Wow, a 2. We're not going to get that second 10 today, I don't think.
So that's our third 2?
Yeah.
A major modification is made to the environment of our place. What is this change? Was it made by someone, or did it simply come to pass?
I think they dig out that basement and they sort of fortify it just in case they need to hide somebody down there from an approaching army.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But consider, what if some soldiers arrived ahead of time and were like, hey, we need to quarter down here and like set up camp in the fields?
No, yeah, that's what happens. They set up camp in them fields and they're just sort of hanging out, and tensions are not great.
4. So I think that's our first 4.
Wow.
What is the primary building or natural material of our place? Vines.
Vines. Woven vines.
Huge vines from those huge trees that make up all of the houses and stuff. It's all woven like fabric into sturdy walls.
I think it's still alive. My turn?
Yes.
Awesome. Another 4.
The bar opens their doors to all. What is the bar, and who is a regular there? So obviously this is a homestead.
This is a homestead. But I think that the brother, the traveling, adventuring uncle, starts sort of sharing that ancient elven mead with these soldiers that are bivouacking. I don't think I pronounced that. With
I think it's bivouac.
Bivouac, doing that thing on their land, and just sort of trying to like
Win them over
in case they figure it out, in case someone slips. Yeah. I think that's it. That's the bar.
It's been 600 years. Definitely his kids are old enough to know better.
Oh, for sure.
And won't like slip.
They won't say anything. You know what I mean.
9.
Another 9.
So that's our second 9?
Yeah.
Someone or a group leaves our place. Who are they? Why are they going? What do they take with them, and what do they leave behind? So I think those soldiers leave.
Yeah.
Naturally they leave with the mead, because that's a gift to them.
It's a gift.
Clearly.
It's a gift.
But also I think they just leave with the just really good graces, and they go to return to their like army, and they're like, we found some really wonderful, good, hospitable people who would be amazing if we happen to travel that way.
But no doomsayers here.
No doomsayers here, though. What do they leave behind?
Some weapons, just in case the Doomslayer comes by.
Yeah, I think they're like, okay, so you have some like kids coming into their own. Let's teach them a few things. So they leave behind the knowledge to defend themselves from doomsayers and beasts.
And the creature.
And the creature.
All right. That's a 3.
All right.
Second 3. Are we ever going to get a 10? I didn't look. I'll put it at the bottom.
Let's see. What do people in our place argue about for fun? Whether at the bar, in the square, or in other social spaces.
Whether or not the creature that is slurping down these cows even exists, and if it's like a weird cow disease. Also,
I feel like just very quietly and in private, like whether or not he actually saw that. Like, I feel like the family is kind of like low-key trying to gaslight him out of that notion.
Trying to be like, no, you didn't see this. You didn't even, like, even if they ask, you 100%
did not. There's no way
did you see this. Yes.
You did not see this. It's impossible.
For sure.
They said it's a doomsayer, and you're not a doomsayer, so you didn't see that.
Yeah.
His name's Mike?
No. What? Pull a card.
Oh!
I think that's going to have to be our last 10 just from timing.
All right. So that's our second 10 and probably our last 10 simply because we're at 750.
So ask the question and then we'll go to the epilogue.
It's a resting day in the knowledge of a secure future. What is taken as a given, and how do the inhabitants of our place spend a lazy day? So, obviously, the kids are probably, like, hanging around the swinging tree.
On the swinging tree.
And just, like, chatting and hanging out. With the, like, departure of the soldiers. They're pretty chill about, whether or not that the, this hunting army is actually gonna come to them, because it's really easy to keep a secret that no one else witnessed.
Oh,
it
for sure.
turns out
Really easy, as long as everybody plays it cool. I think the adults are kind of more relaxed. They're finally, like, it's like a letting out a held breath.
Yeah. Though I do think this whole thing does inspire, like, one of the kids to, like,
Go out and become an adventurer.
ready up and go out
Time
and
to
become an
repeat this
adventurer.
cycle. Yeah.
And I feel like
I feel like the uncle tries to dissuade them.
I don't know. I think
No?
the uncle, like, takes them aside and goes, you know, I wasn't an adventurer.
Dang.
And is like, I'm proud that you are, and if you see any of our siblings.
This uncle is full of secrets.
This uncle is full of secrets.
600 years worth. My goodness. So we're going to say this was a 4 of 10.
We're going to say this was
ending the game.
Ending the game. We are going
Where is ending the game?
Scooch over to
how do we end? How do we stop playing this game?
All right.
There it is.
The game is over. No matter the number of cards left in the pile or the stories that are in motion, the window is fogged over. What happens tomorrow at Abernathy Farm? Who wakes up? What do they see? What's the feeling they get from the world?
I think tomorrow, everybody gets up just as normal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one kid starts packing their things.
Yeah.
I think they have a nice breakfast together as a family one last time, and they all take a walk to the edge of the farm and sort of, see him off. Wish him the best of luck. Tell him to keep in communication.
I like that.
Sort of a...
like, hopeful, kind of...
They all, yeah.
Happy ending?
Yeah, they all gather at the edge, and they sort of watch him walk off into the distance. Roll credits.
All right. And that was the ground itself. It was...
That was so different from the first time we played this.
So the first time we played this, do you want to, like, give them a...
Just a quick one?
Yeah.
It was a game separated by decades. It was on a planet, dominated by water. The game took place in a city that was an underwater, like, globe, like a, like an underwater city, like an Atlantis situation.
Mm-hmm.
The people were insectile. I think they were bee-based.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had been separated from some of their people by centuries of disasters. And their civilization was based on a philosophy, and anytime a philosophy changed too much or became its own thing, they would leave to make their own civilization elsewhere, which is how they had a network of cities.
It was very high concept. It became very sci-fi.
It did become kind of sci-fi without any science whatsoever, even.
It really feels to me like like, looking back, I was like, man, this kind of feels like if Ender's Game hadn't been so human-centric and also what it was.
Yeah.
So, for the last 5 minutes of our stream, we are going to do our suggestions. So let me go ahead and bring these up. We will be rolling a die for mechanics, and we will be rolling a die for genre, which are up on the screen now. So first we will go with genre. So,
can I roll the genre?
yes, you may roll the genre. It is 1 for fantasy, 2 for sci-fi, 3 for horror, 4 for modern, 5 for historic, and 6 for meta.
Nice.
So go ahead.
Should I have? You got a 2.
You got a 2, so that's sci-fi.
Science fiction.
All right. And now we will roll for mechanics. So I'll go ahead and take that. And it's 1 for like D20, like D&D likes,
Dungeons and
5e. 2 narrative, non-mechanical. 3 non-linear. 4 diceless. 5 non-D20 dice game, and 6 roguelike. 4
Diceless.
So diceless
Sci-fi.
sci-fi. We're gonna have to think on that.
That one's gonna be hard because like dice, that's Shadowrun, Eclipse Phase. D20, obviously we do Starfinder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
This is gonna be a difficult one.
Diceless sci-fi.
Diceless sci-fi. That is gonna be a fun one. To try and figure out.
Grab some suggestions.
And
Facebook.
I will put up a post on Facebook asking, "Hey everyone, here's what we rolled. Can you suggest an RPG for us?
Sci-fi
A diceless sci-fi game for us to cover for our next stream."
Wowzers.
Because we are going to have a hell of a time looking and finding something that solves that diceless See, this sucks because like y'all sci-fi people love math.
We do.
Y'all love math and dice.
Love math. Dice are so good at math. Yeah, Shadowrun uses dice.
So much dice. It's really gonna be tough.
No dice at all.
No dice. That is gonna be tough. I know you're trying. Cause like even World of Darkness uses dice.
World of Darkness does use it. Maybe if
even Powered by the Apocalypse.
Maybe just like something that has a very low emphasis on dice. We might have to. We might have to make.
We
some
rolled
exceptions.
diceless.
We did roll diceless. At least we'll never roll diceless again.
The dice have forsaken us.
Wow, diceless.
At least we won't be able to have that happen with this game, whatever we find. I am sure there is something out there.
There's so many sci-fi games.
There's so much sci-fi games.
Oh yeah.
We can even find a sci-fi card RPG.
Yeah, that's
that'll suit. It just doesn't need to have dice.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
That's actually way broader than I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
We'll be fine.
We'll be okay. Diceless sci-fi. Well.
So.
Been real.
Thank you everyone for coming by and hanging out with us. Thank you for joining us with The Ground Itself by Everett Pipkin. An excellent role-playing game in my opinion. Very good. I really enjoy it.
It's radical every time.
Really, really good for getting into like shallow or very deep stories with your friends if you want to like do world building. And one of the ideas Dev had was making a setting with this game and then playing in that setting.
In a suitable game.
Which
we might find doing this.
We might. So it is $10 for the physical copy, $3 for shipping, $5 if you want the PDF on DriveThruRPG. Let us know if we should start stocking these in the shop, by the way, because I'm trying to look into all of these RPGs to just broaden our like base of role-playing games that we have, simply because we want to give support to all the indie RPG people.
That's nice.
So
if you've got an indie RPG that is a diceless sci-fi game,
hit us
send
up.
it to us on Facebook.
So thank you for hanging out with us, and take it easy, everyone. Thank you.